You're about to hear another episode of The Deerslayer, dramatized and directed by Charles Frederick Lindsley.
Deerslayer and Judith Hutter have been successful in their search for the lost canoes and have brought them back to the castle, although they encountered dangerous and thrilling experiences in effecting their rescue from the Indians. They are now at the log house in the middle of the lake, where they are discussing methods of obtaining the release of old Tom Hutter and Hurry Harry March, who have fallen into Iroquois hands. Judith tells Deerslayer of an old chest that belongs to her father, and they decide to open it and discover, if possible, the means of paying a ransom. The chest is locked, and Hetty alone knows where to find the key. She refuses to help them, saying that it is against her father's wishes, and that some danger lurks within, and they will be sorry if they proceed any further. However, they pay no attention to her, find the key, open the chest, and begin to explore its contents. They find some richly embroidered clothes and a pair of silver-mounted pistols. Deerslayer is handling one of these weapons when the air is torn with a violent explosion, and they hear Hetty scream in terror.
Hetty, what's wrong? Oh, Judith, I told you not to open that chest. What was that shot? Where's Deerslayer? Oh, I know something dreadful has happened.
We found a pair of old silver pistols, and Deerslayer fired one by accident, but we're both safe.
It's all over. It's all over. There was a narrow escape. The plyman was old and caked, and the pistol burst into 100 pieces when I was careless enough to let the hammer fall. But no harm was done.
It seems miraculous that a pistol should burst in your hand and you escape without serious accident.
Such wonders aren't uncommon at all among worn-out arms. The first rifle they ever gave me played the same trick. Thomas Hutter is master of one pistol less than he was yesterday. But as it happened in trying to serve him, there's no ground for complaint, I guess.
We've done right in opening the chest, Hetty, because we've found enough already to offer a dozen ransoms for Father, and we're not to the bottom yet. Oh, come with us this time. The mischief's done, and you've had no part in it. Oh, that's right. Come see the lovely dress we found.
I have seen it.
Sit down here and watch. We're almost through. What's the next article, Deerslayer?
I don't know what it is, gal. Some unusual instrument, all done up with brass ornaments.
It looks like the surveyor's tools I've seen.
No, I've seen all their implements, but none of them look like this. Was your father ever a surveyor, Judith?
No, he's no surveyor, Deerslayer. That instrument goes far beyond his learning.
Then he's fallen heir to another man's goods. What have we here in this bag? This is something new to my eyes.
Little pieces of ivory. Heads of men. Knights on horses. And little tassels on elephants.
Judith, did your parents ever talk to you of religion?
My mother did, often. My father, never.
That I can believe. That I can believe. He has no God. No such God as it becomes a white man to worship, or even a redskin. Them things are idols.
Oh, Deerslayer, do you really think these ivory toys are Father's gods?
Yes, them are idols. Why should your father keep them if he doesn't worship them?
Would he keep his gods in a bag and locked up in a closet? No. My father carries his gods with him wherever he goes, and that's in his own cravings. I think these came from some distant country and fell into his hands when he was a sailor.
I'm downright glad to hear it, Judith. But I don't think I could keep a white idolater out of his difficulties. What do you call this? An elephant?
Yes, it's an elephant. I've often seen pictures of such animals at the garrison, and Mother had a book in which there was a printed account of the creatures.
Well, elephant or no elephant, 'tis an idol. and not fit to remain in Christian keep.
Oh, they may not be idols, Deerslayer. Oh, I know. I remember I've seen one of the officers at the garrison with a set of fox and geese made in this same design. They used them in playing some kind of game. What's this, wrapped in cotton? Maybe it belongs to your idols.
Now, let me see. It's a board with a piece of ivory built into it. I think...
Now I'm sure that these queer figures belong to a game of some sort.
I'm not convinced, Judith. But of one thing I'm certain. One of these elephants, as you call them, would buy a whole tribe of Iroquois. You need have no fear for your father now. His ransom is settled.
Well, when can we visit the tribe and make an exchange?
Tonight at sunset, we'll meet my friend, the Delaware chief, at the Big Rock, as we agreed. He'll advise us how we should best make offers to our enemies. I feel the need of sleep, gal. But half an hour before sunset, we start in the ark to keep the rendezvous with our friend. You keep a lookout on the lake, and call me if you see any sign of our enemies having taken to the water.
Deerslayer, it's time to meet your friend now.
I'm ready, Judith. I've decided, gal, to go alone in one of the canoes. It'll be a hazardous journey, and you shouldn't risk your life in the venture.
I've been thinking too, my friend, and I think you should take the ark, because it's quite safe from the enemy's rifles. And in that case, I'll go along because I know how to use firearms, and I can be of service if you're attacked. You can do the rowing, and I'll stand guard when your friend Chingachgook makes his jump from the rock to the boat.
What about Hetty?
Oh, I've discussed the matter with her, and she insists on staying here at the castle. She's been very sullen all day because we insisted on opening that chest. She seems to be making some plan of her own, but I can't tell what it is.
But the varmints will see us when we leave here. And if they've been building a raft, they'll make an attempt to occupy this castle in our absence. Hetty'll not be able to keep them out.
Oh, she can lock herself up here. Anyway, as I've explained to you, the Indians believe that Hetty is feeble-minded, as she is, poor child. They'll not harm her. In fact, she'll be safer here than with us on the ark. Well, it's time to leave, Deerslayer. Are you ready?
I'm not convinced you're right, Judith. Though the cabin on the ark is built of good stout logs. And if we can rescue the chief, the two of us can stand off the enemy a long time unless they swamp us before we get off the shore. I guess we'll try it.
You bring the canoes inside the palisades and padlock them in, and I'll fasten these doors and windows.
Judith, if your father was ever on the sea, it's likely that he has a spyglass around here. Have you ever seen one?
Oh, yes, we use it all the time. It's on those high brackets in the corner of his room. I'll get it.
Deerslayer.
Hello, Hetty. Are you over your fright now?
Deerslayer, do you think if I went ashore and told the Indians it was unchristian to hold Father, they'd let him go?
No, Hetty. The Redskins can understand such doctrines. You stay here with the castle until we bring off my friend. And tomorrow we'll try to bring them to their senses with the ransom things we found in the chest.
Do you see this little book, Deerslayer? It's a Bible. It belonged to Mother. She taught me to read it. I'll take this to the Indians and tell them that there's a God who rules over the whole earth and is a ruler of all men, red or white.
Oh, I understand a little now what they mean who have told me about your reasoning powers, gal. I've seen too much of these natives in my life to know the reception of that kind of preaching.
I've often gone among the Indians, Deerslayer, and have preached to them, too. They never harmed me.
They were not on the warpath then, or it would have been different. I know they'll not harm you yourself, but they won't listen to anything you can say about releasing their captives. No, you leave that to me and Chingachgook.
Here's the spyglass, Deerslayer. Well, does Hetty still insist on staying here?
I'll stay here. I've much to think about, and I can't help you on the water.
Judith and I will cast off then in the ark, Hetty. You better keep a lookout through these little windows that look so much like portholes. If all holds well, we should be back an hour after dark. Keep your glass on the shore, gal. They're probably preparing a raft. Can you see anything?
No, Deerslayer. I've studied the shore inch by inch, and I see nothing yet. Well, why are you heading the scow in all manner of directions?
I'm trying to baffle the varmints. They're no doubt watching us, but I'll make 'em leg-weary tramping after us. And at the last minute, I'll swing back to the rock.
Well, must we reach the rock exactly at the moment the sun sets?
Precisely.
Well, a few moments sooner or later won't matter, though, will it?
Yes, it will. The rock's within point-blank distance for a gun. It won't do to hover too close or too long. Do you see any sign of the enemy yet?
No, everything is quiet. I can't see motion. But it's getting gloomy along the banks now, and we're not far from the rock. Why are you heading east again? The rock is almost due south.
As I told you, to get the savages tramping off in the wrong direction.
You really think they're watching our movements?
Certainly.
Oh, I was in hopes they'd fallen back into the woods and left us to ourselves for a few hours.
That's altogether a woman's conceit. There's no let up in an Indian's watchfulness when he's on the warpath. His eyes are on us this minute. Our only hope is to get them off on a wrong scent. The Mingos have good noses, but a white man's reason ought to equalize their instinct. Now we'll head in. Keep your eyes alert.
Oh, I like the way you make decisions, Deerslayer. You make me confident that we'll succeed.
Was your father ever in the hands of the Iroquois before?
Yes, once, but a few skins easily released him.
Well, it won't be so easy this time. I'll take the sail down now, and we'll float in close. Stand at the loophole there on the side next to the shore, and give me warning if anyone approaches. We must be close in now, Judith. Can you see the rock?
Yes.
Is it empty? Can you see the Delaware chief yet?
No, Deerslayer. Neither rocks, shore, nor trees seem to have ever held a human being.
Keep close, Judith. Keep close. A rifle has a prying eye, a nimble foot, and a desperate fatal tongue. Keep close, but be on the alert.
And you, Deerslayer, do you keep close. Don't let the savages get a glimpse of you. A bullet would be as fatal to you as to me.
No fear of me, gal. No fear of me. Don't look this way. Keep your eyes on the rock. The shore. What is it? What is it, Judith?
There's a man on the rock. An Indian warrior in his paint and armed.
Where does he wear his hawk's feather? Is it fast to the warlock? Or does he carry it above the left ear?
Above the left ear. He smiles, too, and mutters the word, Mohican.
God be praised, is the serpent at last.
He's getting ready to jump in the ark, Deerslayer. Here he comes.
Huh? Serpent, come. Deerslayer, on time.
Welcome, serpent. You're here in the nick of time.
Pull, Deerslayer. Pull for life and death. The lake is full of savages waiting after us.
Help me get this craft underway, Chief. Once in motion, we can fight off an army.
Pull, Deerslayer. For heaven's sake. They're swimming to the ark. They're coming after us. They'll seize the ark.
You're about to hear another episode of The Deerslayer, dramatized and directed by Charles Frederick Lindsley.
Deerslayer has agreed to meet his friend, a Delaware chief named Chingachgook, at the shore of the lake at sunset. He and Judith in the ark leave the castle and proceed to the appointed place. They are conscious or are watching their movements. Deerslayer tries to throw them off the track of the ark in a direction. At last swings the barge into shore. Chingachgook is waiting at the appointed moment from the rock to the boat when Judith screams, "Pull, Deerslayer, for life and death! The little savage getting after us!" Deer seizes the grapnel line, dart What now, Judith? And go still follow?
No, they've turned back to shore. They'll just bury himself in...
They're afraid of our rifles. We're on the lookout, gal. Or they'd have hauled us. It would have been a hand-to-hand tussle with the odds against us.
Will they make another attempt to reach us?
Not now. Oh, we are armed. Judith, this tall, handsome young Fingercoop, which signifies nothing. So-called cunning. Chief story, and it'll take some time.
Does he understand English, dear?
And speaks it, too.
The sun is going to be another murky night. Keep our eye on the shore. Aim out and size us.
In a moment from the south shore to the castle under natural power. Starboard, I'll just happen to mudded, although there's little to say. I'm in with a young trapper named Hurley Harry. He was on his hutter, who lives with his two daughters in a fort he used to build. When I came, the two men went for scalps and were captured by the enemy. I got off, though, and have been watching over the gals. We brought off all the canoes that old Tom had hidden on the shore, and we're safe for the present, until the varmints have had time to build a raft with which to storm the castle, as Hutter called his house. And that's about all, I guess. And now it's our duty to plan a rescue before it's too late.
Deerslayer, the wind has come up now, and if you put up the sail, it'll not be necessary to row back to the castle.
Very good, gal. This rowing isn't much to a Delaware's liking anyway. It's certainly turned out to be a gloomy night. I hope we have no trouble in finding the castle. Tell us about...
4 days ago, Chingacook leave Delaware village. Half-mile from Susquehanna, find trail. Iroquois trail. Follow here to lake. Half-day, watch camp of Mingo.
You've actually been to the camp of the enemy? Can you tell us anything of their captives, my father and his friend, Hurry Harry?
Chingacook see them. Old man, young warrior. Holding hemlock, tall pine.
You're not so much out, Delaware. Old Hutter is decaying of a certainty. As for Hurry Harry, so far as height and strength go, he might be called the pride of the forest.
Were the men bound or in any way suffering torture?
Not so. Mingo busy. Some watch, some sleep. Some scout, some hunt. Today, pale-face treated like brother. Tomorrow, lose scalp.
Oh, I'm glad they're not suffering. By tomorrow, we may be able to do something for them. Are there women with the Mingos, Chingacook?
Squaw in camp.
Then I have articles of dress that will suit their eyes. And we found many things today that will please the men.
How is it, Sarpent, that there are squaws among the knaves? How many women are there?
Sarpent see 6 and Watawa.
That's his sweetheart, Judith. Did you see her, Chief? Did you come close to her?
No, Deerslayer. 3 too many. Leave too many. But Chingacook heard laugh of Watawa. Different from laugh Iroquois women. Watawa laugh like wren.
Trust a lover's ear for that. I know not why I've seen grim warriors listening to the chattering and laughing of young girls as if it was church music.
Have you never felt how pleasant it is to listen to the laugh of a sweetheart?
Why, Lord bless you, gal, I've never lived enough along my own color to drop into them sort of feelings. To me, there's no music as sweet as the wind in the treetops, the rippling of a stream, or the mouth of a certain hound when I'm on the track of a buck.
Then I think you have much to learn.
Ace Hunter met Mingo in fight since coming too late.
Yes, I have fell in with the enemy, and I suppose it may be said I've fought him, too.
Huh? Any scalp?
I maintain that's again white gifts.
Did no warrior fall? Deerslayer not slow with rifle.
Yes, I don't boast, but I may say one Mingo fell.
Chief?
That's more than I know or can say. He was artful and treacherous, and he fought well, but he wasn't quick enough.
My brother and friend struck the body?
That was uncalled, seeing the Mingo died in my arms. But I fought with the gifts of my own color. I did not take his scalp.
Deerslayer pale-faced, has pale and hot. Delaware will look for scalp, hang on pole, sing song to our people.
No, that's easy telling, Chingacook, but will not be easy to do. The Mingo's body is in the hands of his friends, and is no doubt hid in some hole where Delaware cunning will never be able to get at the scalp.
Listen, Deerslayer. Do you hear anything?
No.
It seemed as if the water was stirring near us.
Sarpent here. Something move in water.
It might be a fish. Fish prey on each other like men and animals on land.
There it is again. Do hear something. Listen.
You're right, gal. It sounds like a paddle. Take your rifle, Chingacook.
Whoever it is, they're moving with caution.
I see it now. It is a canoe. And there's someone standing in it paddling.
But there may be others concealed in the bottom.
We can't beat them by flight. A flatboat will be no match with a bark canoe. Hand me my rifle, Judith.
Quick, Deerslayer. You can easily bring down the paddler and take them by surprise.
Oh, I could, yes. But give him a chance is my motto. I'll hail him first and ask his errand. Stop! If you come nearer, I'll fire. Certain death will follow. Stop paddling and answer.
Fire and kill a defenseless girl, and God will never forgive you. Go your way, Deerslayer, and let me go mine. Don't try to stop me, do you hear me? Be down.
We must stop her, Deerslayer. You don't know what she has in her mind.
We can't compete with the canoe, Judith. If she's bound to take her course, we'll have to let her. But what can this mean, gal? Why has your sister taken one of the canoes from the Ark and headed shoreward with it?
You know she's feeble-minded, Deerslayer, but she has her own ideas of what ought to be done. She loves her father more than most children love their
Your sister has now been on some mad scheme to serve her father? Why, the gal will give the Mingoes the mastership of a canoe.
Such I fear is true, friend. Poor Hetty has hardly enough cunning to outwit a savage.
We must stop her if we can, or at least retrieve the canoe. Grab this oar, Delaware. You go to the head of the scow, Judith, and keep a lookout. We may overtake her, unless she knows the shortest line to the shore. Pull, Chingacook.
Straight ahead. No, she turned sharply to the right.
Back water, Chief, while I force around. All right. Straight ahead again. We'll make it if the gal don't change her path too often.
Oh, now she's turned back to the left again.
Now, the gal has more sense than they claim for her. If she doubles once more, we'll lose sight of her.
Stop, Deerslayer. I've lost sight of the canoe. Stop. I don't know which direction to tell you now. Oh, the shadows on the water here are awfully black.
Stop rowing, Chief. I guess the feeble-minded one, as they call her, has given us the slip. Come ahead here and lend me your eagle eyes. Maybe we can see more than Judith.
She disappeared over there to the left when she last changed her course.
Do you hear her paddle, Chingacook?
No here paddle. All still.
In what direction is the Iroquois camp, Deerslayer?
It's west and a little south, I think. Why?
I have a plan. We'll move down near it and wait. I think it likely that Hetty will make her way there when she thinks she's no longer followed.
She may. Then again, she may be anywhere on the shore and go on foot to the enemy's camp. The gal has more caution than we give her credit for. If she doesn't have reason, she has instinct, which is sometimes even more valuable in the woods.
Well, if she does have instinct, as you say, she may set the canoe adrift after she lands, because she's seen Father do that often.
If she does that, we can find it in the morning with the glass and take it back to the castle. But it will leave your sister in jeopardy.
But the Iroquois will not harm her. She knows it.
When the varmints are on the warpath and after white scalps, they may think differently. Chingacook, lay her head more into the shore. But keep the mast clear of the trees.
Shore very close, Deerslayer. Tree not far away.
Don't get 'em. Embade, Chief.
Yes, sir, there's the canoe. Hetty! Hetty!
Keep the scow straight, Delaware. Straight as a bullet flies. If it's empty, we'll pick it up.
Hetty, are you there? Oh, I believe it's empty, Deerslayer. Poor girl's gone ashore and set the canoe adrift as I thought.
You're right, Judith. It is empty. Slow up, Chingacook, while I fasten it to the ark.
Hetty, are you within hearing? Oh, for God's sake, answer me.
I'm here on the shore, Judy. It'll be useless to follow me. I'll hide in the woods.
Oh, Hetty, what are you doing? It's near midnight, and the woods are filled with wild savages and wild beasts.
Neither will harm a poor half-witted girl, Judy. God is as much with me here as he would be in the castle. I'm going to help poor Father and hurry Harry.
But you can't do anything for them.
They'll be tortured unless someone cares for them.
We all care for them, Hetty, and tomorrow we'll send a flag of truce. And by that reason, oh, please come back. We have better heads than you, and we'll do all we can for Father.
I know your head is better than mine, Judy, but I must go to Father. You and Deerslayer go back to the castle and leave me in the hands of God.
God is with us all, sister. You can do nothing in the dark. You'll lose your way in the forest.
God will not let that happen to one who goes to help her father. I must try to find the savages before it's too late.
Come back for the night only, please. In the morning, we'll put you ashore and let you do as you think right.
You say so, Judy. You say so now, but in the morning your heart would soften, and you'd see tommyhawks and scalping knives in the air. I've got a thing to tell the Indian chief, and you'll see He'll let Father go as soon as he hears it.
Oh, Harry, what can you say to a bloody savage that will change his purpose?
That which will frighten him and make him let Father go. You'll see.
Now tell me, Harry, what you mean to say. I know the Indians well and can judge how your idea will work with the Redskins.
I can't tell you, Deerslayer, but I will go to the chief, and when he hears me, you will see, too. He will send Hurry, Father, and me to the shore opposite to the castle and tell us to go in peace. You'll see. You'll see.
You are about to hear another episode of The Deerslayer, dramatized and directed by Charles Frederick Lindsley.
Deerslayer and Judith go in the ark to meet the Delaware chief, Chingachgook. They rescue the young warrior, although nearly overhauled by Indians hiding in ambush. On the return to the castle, they hear the sound of a canoe paddle. Deerslayer orders the occupant of the canoe to stop. It is answered by the voice of Hetty Hutter, whom they had left at the castle, but who now is on her way to the shore to intercede with the Mingos for the release of her father and Hurry Harry. She eludes Deerslayer and reaches the shore. Calling back, she will not return until she has seen the Mingo chief. After a night in the woods, Hetty starts to the camp of the enemy and is met on the way by a young Indian girl who smiles at her and greets her with friendly face.
Where to go? Indian, red man, savage, wicked warrior that away. Good warrior far off.
Who are you? What's your name?
Me, Watawa. I know Mingo, English.
Come here till you come for. Where do you come, father, and says scalp?
He's right. Why he hit me by hair and tried to...
Who did he see?
Even a no tell different for pale face to Slayer always tell.
Do you? He is now in the ark with last nothing at the rock. Unless they...
Chingo come here? Huh? Chingachgook, red warrior.
God will not part.
True, I tell you. Or you're backable. Not forgiven.
I thought mount you home.
Watawa, friend.
I've a sift my own.
Or of skin different color.
When they spell the name,
tell what you do in me.
Long together, I'm wiser.
Love you looking.
I do.
You himself.
A warrior must take one. Never want to marry me. I'm rather often sometimes up half love. Different with you. There's no reason why the serpent should not marry you.
He's prisoner. Mingo got big ear. Those speak Chingachgook when they buy. Promise he's...
I know. Deerslayer and the serpent mean to get you away from the Iroquois. And you wish me not to tell the secret.
When Mingo close, hold tongue, never talk. Good Hetty must not tell secret of friend.
I promise is not to mention Chingachgook's name.
Maybe he get off Hurry and father as well as his. If let him have his way, think of that, Hetty, and put 20 fingers on mouth. No get friends free without stopping to do it. Come, I take you to Mingo camp.
Can these Mingos speak English, Liz? Not much. Understand some. But what plans about an attack on field raft, maybe? The Bible says about your father.
These are fierce here. I say you should not have come mentioned.
Neither you.
And at peace time to take scalp.
To the
They fell on him like an arrow. On you fear not.
attack you will be here. Who I am and brought me here.
To Iroquois.
Even who. That is my father.
Why come to...
Burn his friends. They did. But you... Good book.
Why, Great Spirit, no?
How to read. Oh, let me tell you what this book says. I will read it to you. First, you are commanded to love thy neighbor as thyself.
Neighbor for Indian, no mean paleface. Neighbor mean Iroquois for Iroquois, Mohican for Mohican, paleface for paleface. No need tell Chief anything else.
You forget these are the words of the Great Spirit. Whoever shall smite thee on thy right cheek, turn to him the other also.
What that mean?
It means that if white men try to hurt you, you should not hurt them in return. Or if white men try to take red man's scalp, Indian must not take white man's scalp. And listen to this. Love your enemies. Bless them that curse you. Do good to them that hate you.
It is good book of paleface?
Yes.
White man live by this book?
They all try. The French, the Canadas, and the Yankees.
Paleface friend, listen. This is paleface law. It tell him be good to them that hurt him. When his brother asked him for rifle, he told to give powder horn too. Paleface law.
Not so, not so. There is not a word about rifles in the whole book. And powder and bullets give offense to the Great Spirit.
Why then does Paleface use them? Why he take double from poor Indian who ask for no thing? He come from beyond rising sun with book in hand. Teach red man to read it. Why Paleface forget all it say to him? White man offer gold for scalp of our women and children, and call Indian beast if he takes scalp of warrior killed in battle. One time, whiteface say white, other time he say black.
But it matters not what the wicked do. The words of the Great Spirit are the words of the Great Spirit. Render good for evil, says this book, and that is the law for red men as well as for white.
No good tell Chief such law as that. Tell something he believe.
Tell me, what are you going to do with Father and Hurry?
Paleface die tonight. Sunset.
Oh, no, you can't be so cruel.
Paleface die tonight. Sunset.
If you do, Deerslayer will kill you.
Oh, I know all about Deerslayer and friend Delaware Chief. They do no good. Tonight Iroquois go on big raft and burn Muskrat Castle. Paleface sister will become Iroquois squaw.